Hi guys, it's KJM, and I know it's been forever since I have done a Hallmark review, and a lot of you are probably just like, WTF, like, is she ever going to get back to doing Hallmark reviews? And the answer is yes. I've just had a lot happening in my life, and I needed to tend to my life. So as creators, we also have other things going on in our lives, and sometimes you need a break. I don't plan my breaks. It just so happens that life got super busy. But today I'm going to try to do as many reviews as I can because I have been watching the Hallmark movies. Okay, my lighting just went out. So I have been watching the Hallmark movies. I just have not been doing the reviews. And some of you are going to love what I have to say. Some of you are not going to like what I have to say. But let's get into this review. Okay, when we last saw each other, I think we were still on June weddings. The first movie, I think, was called Wedding Season. I think I gave that a 7 out of 10. Wasn't that great, though it had the potential to be. The second one, I think, was called Love's Greek to Me. And I gave that one a better scoring, even though a lot of Hallmarkies did not like the movie because of the very overbearing Greek mother. As an immigrant, I totally understood the role the mother plays, because generally immigrants are taught you really just don't say no to your mother. I mean, especially your mother. I mean, generally not your parents, but really not the person that spent the 9 months giving birth to you. Like, you just, whatever it is that she's saying, you just nod your head. That's how immigrants are really taught. And so I know, like, Americans were like, he needs to step up to his mom, but honestly, it's a cultural thing. You can talk to anyone that is from a different country outside of the United States, and I'm sure we all have this in common, that you just don't say no to your mama, or it's really hard to set boundaries with your mother. So now, the third movie was The Wedding Contract, and I'm just going to keep this review short because I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. I hate to say it, but I did not like this movie, even though I love Becca Tobin and Jake Epstein. I've seen him a few times in a couple of Hallmark movies, but honestly, Becca has this movie where she gets married on the 4th of July, and I really love that one, but this just did not do it for me, so it was a 5 out of 10. Reason being for me giving this movie a 5 out of 10. First of all, this movie was about two people who fell in love, they get engaged, they start to plan a wedding. And we start to see the ins and outs of the wedding. Both their mothers are not getting along, and everyone is Jewish. So generally, I love learning about new cultures. Like Hanukkah on Rye, last year's Jewish Christmas movie, I gave that a 10 out of 10. It was creative. It taught us about the culture. The writing was smart. I loved the matchmaker piece. But something about The Wedding Contract just it was so slow. The writing was slow for me, and that kind of made me sad. I loved learning about the Jewish wedding traditions. I loved seeing the ins and outs, that planning a wedding, it's not easy, and it really takes people outside of their comfort zone, and you're watching two people try to merge together. But I think another thing that got me about the writing was that I think for Love's Greek to Me, we already saw an overbearing mom. Then this week with The Wedding Contract, we have two moms that are like that. And most of the movie were the two moms bickering. And while the rabbi is trying to counsel Becca and Adam, basically we see that they don't really know each other as well as they should. But during this process, the rabbi is bringing them together for them to dig deeper. Becca is a teacher. All of a sudden, Adam gets a promotion where they'll have to move to the West Coast. So now Becca's going to have to give up her teaching job, and Adam doesn't really want her to do that. The mothers are fighting over all the stuff about the wedding, what dress to wear. We saw the bickering, the overbearing mom thing the week before. So to see it again in the writing, but it was two moms the next week, I think they should have spaced this out. Maybe you could have started off the June weddings with The Wedding Contract, then go to Wedding Season, then have Love's Greek to Me, and kind of space out having some of the same energy. So for me, it was the writing. I love learning about the Jewish traditions. the wedding. I loved seeing the rabbi counsel them and showing how important it is to marriage to be counseled before. I love seeing that everything is not easy, but Megan made it a point of saying, one of the things that made this movie hard to watch, we didn't actually watch them fall in love. So for it to be June weddings and we're really missing the piece about getting to have them fall in love and really getting to know the couple better, that kind of, Hallmark, that kind of fell flat. And that's another reason why I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. And honestly, this movie was one of the reasons why I was hesitating to do the reviews, because I really didn't want to give it a 5 out of 10. I really wanted to love it, but the writing was extremely slow. And I found it kind of painful, even watching it on my DVR, to kind of fast forward through the commercials and like get to the source of the movie. Ultimately, Becca and Adam, they do get married and they learn to compromise and both families are brought together. But for some reason, like the wedding season, this was not delivering. But unlike the wedding season, I feel like the writing for this was just completely not good. I think there were some parts of the wedding season that literally, could have made that movie better than a 7 out of 10. But there was just some awkwardness. And one thing both movies had in common is I felt like a lack of chemistry between the two leads, which is really funny because when I was reading the Hallmarky comments on Facebook about Love's Greek to Me, and I'm hoping I'm saying the right name of all these movies, a lot of people were saying that couple didn't have chemistry, but I actually thought they did. I thought they did have chemistry. So different strokes for different folks. I read somebody else's review on Instagram about this movie, and that person was like, yeah, it was a good movie. I found parts of it funny, but it was slow and I would not watch it again if it was on. I'm sorry, you can't rate something a good movie and then say you wouldn't watch it again when it's on. When I give a movie a 7 or above out of 10, I'm saying that it's either still on my DVR or that whenever it comes on, I'm going to catch it. Like, I'm going to catch it and I'm going to watch it. And this is one of those movies I would actually avoid. Earlier in March, Hallmark had premiered The Professional Bridesmaid. And I didn't think I was going to like that movie, but it ended up being smart and funny. That should have been in June weddings. I think, once again, Hallmark, give Megan the programming job, because honestly, we would have gotten y'all all the way together. Megan could do your programming, I could do your reviews, and more, even direct behind the scenes, because I don't know who put that wedding movie. And you guys even had The Wedding Cottage that I really enjoyed. Those movies would have been better for June weddings. If you're going to come back and bring June weddings, you should have come strong. You had movies like The Professional Bridesmaid. You had The Wedding Cottage. And instead, you're giving us movies like The Wedding Season and The Wedding Contract that are just falling flat. And a lot of people didn't like Love's Greek to Me, even though I think I gave it a 9 out of 10. I did like it, but it was in Greece, and I love a good scenery piece. And I also thought I could understand it, and I thought that it was beautifully done. Not everybody agrees with me on that, but this was just slow. Find the writers that did Hanukkah on Rye, and please ask them to put something together. If you're going to represent another culture, please represent it in a really strong way. And I feel like as an outsider watching, I was understanding the traditions, but it was explained out so much that the chemistry of the movie was just gone. And please give us a rest on the bickering moms. If you're not going to make the quip back and forth with the moms funny, just leave it out, because some of us were just getting triggered, because we have overbearing moms. All right, so that is my review for The Wedding Contract. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Sorry it took so long. If you watched it, let me know how you feel. I'm so glad that TikTok is giving me 10 minutes again this week, because I have so much to say, and let's see how many reviews I can get through. I don't know how long it's going to take me to post all of them, but just know I'm caught up even to this week's Christmas movie. All right, guys, be well. Okay, stay tuned for the next review, because it is what it is. And I'm hoping I could also get a wig review in today. I don't know. Let's see how ambitious I'm going to be. If you're still with me, stay for the next review, and I'll see you in a bit.